Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Whiterime Ridge in the Hunter Classic. So, we're actually at, I think this is called Danforth's Refuge, and we're starting into the northern half of the map for these couple of episodes. So, I was originally going to take off the shotgun in order to take one of the bows with me. I was thinking maybe the recurve, because that's one I have a lot of weapon skill with, but a commenter made a very good point in that there's another animal that we actually haven't encountered yet, which is the snowshoe hare. And that one, we can use the shotgun for. So that, I'm going to stick with that. I just want to take a look across the ice floes in case there is anything out there. I don't think there is, just looking right now. I think what I'm going to do is almost try to follow the shoreline up along here, maybe back down and into this area. Just go for a while, because, again, I haven't really done that much hunting on Whiterime. I'm hoping with this episode will be... I don't know if we'll have enough GM money, or I guess game bucks, or game money, or whatever you want to consider that, to have the Jackrabbit collar quite yet, but I am getting very close. I think we're only around 1,000 out now, which actually isn't all that much when you consider, like, a lot of the missions give at least, I think every mission gives a minimum of 100. There are some missions that might be harder to complete now that are, like, asking for us to, like, spot bison, or perhaps animals that are more on, like, the southern edges or areas of the map more. But I'd like to try to focus on earning all the GM actually in the series, so you guys can get an idea of just how long it could take to, like, earn your way up. Right now, I think it's 1525, or somewhere around there. So it kind of gives you an idea that even without focusing on doing the missions all that hard, a fair amount of actual stuff has come in for us. But I'm just going to go along, see what we can kind of come across. Oh, actually make sure my weapons are loaded first. That's something you should always try to remember to do when you actually start the Hunter Classic and you're in a hunt, is to make sure your weapons are ready before you actually have the situation arise. They don't auto-load if you have them just sitting in the inventory, so it's a good idea just to double-check them and make sure. Yeah, so we'll just go along here, see if we get any calls or if we spot anything. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more scarce for animals or that up here. Like, there is a chance we might actually see polar bears, because I think the ice floes are more of an area where they hang out. But also, it's not like we have a big interior of the map to go to from around here unless we directly went for it. Here we're kind of like expanding into a more broader area and, again, kind of further reaches of the map. It's actually hard to say how long it might take before we might even stumble across an animal call or even a track from something. So I might just actually run us along a bit. Yeah, we can see about stopping there. I still think I will try to go along and then down. I will have to be careful, though, if anything is out on the ice floes. It might make for easy shooting, but retrieval is another matter. Because it might not be too easy to actually get onto the ice floes to be able to go out and get something. Like, if a bear is out there... Actually, I think that's probably it. Can't really imagine anything else that would actually, like, animal-wise be out on the ice. Well, we'll follow this up along, see what we can come across, what we hear, or what have you. And I guess it's kind of just like how... One of the advantages about the other lodge is because there's so much distance to actually go downhill into the map, that kind of occupies the almost like, I think, dead zone around a lodge has when you start. Here, we might have to go a little ways before we're actually kind of, like, out of it. I think it's about I think it's around 250 meters or so of, like, a radius around, but I could be mistaken. But usually when you drop in, there's, like, a dead radius around you, just so that way there's no animals super close that are, like, either able to get provoked and go after you, or you can just drop right in and get a shot off. Now, the Hunter Call of the Wild is a lot different, and I don't think has that. Or if it does, it's a much smaller radius to worry about. I gotta admit, there are some very nice vistas to look out and see. Like, See if I can actually hide that. Like, looking out right there is pretty nice. Oh, speaking of actually looking out, we got a track here. So what is the first animal we may be coming across today? Polar bear? Rabbit? Bison? Deer? Snowshoe hare? Actually, you know what? If that's the case, maybe I will get the shotgun ready. Might have to check for something there. Just heard all of a sudden a bit of a bang. I don't believe it was in-game, because I don't think there'd be anything that would make that. Was that actually a turned-over ship? Yeah, it is. Huh. Oh, get over here, you. Oh, actually, it says that's not that far off. So I might actually be able to spot it. I do hear the snow geese, and yeah, you guys were very helpful also for that. You're very good at... Oh, Jesus. Just like that, right in front of us. I was not expecting us to already come across, like, the, snowshoe hare like that. Honestly, right there to surprise me. Hey, little guy, you got kind of blown apart. Sorry about that, but... yeah, no idea exactly what there is to those. Oh, although, not too bad GM for it. Yeah, the snow geese you have to actually be able to call down as much as you might be out walking and see them. You have to call them down to actually, I guess, unlock them to be hit. Is that just the ice, or is that something else? I guess it's just the way the ice is angled there. I almost thought it was like a polar bear leaning over or sleeping there. It just looks like it's a different color than everything else around it. But yeah, we got ourselves a snowshoe hare, and I'm very glad I was able to just see those little ears popping up over the hill. I think if I had made another step, it would have immediately picked us up and just bolted right away. So that is very interesting to come across already. Now, as for that Arctic fox, I doubt we'll get as lucky to see anything else from it. We might stumble across its trail, but I don't think we'll really, like, see it. Although, maybe we will hear it. Like, that's the thing about the hunter... well, just hunting games in general, is you really don't want to sprint that much because you never know how close something could be. Like, that rabbit was a prime example. It gave a very big radius, but because it turned around to come back, it was well right ahead of us. So it's something I try to avoid is sprinting unless I know there's absolutely nothing in the area. And games like, well, even Carnivores, there's one where you can, like, get surprised in it. Well, it's just one to take your time, go slow, try to keep observant. Again, one of the nicest features about the game, and I should use more often, is the free look, where you can just keep focused in one direction, but you can swivel your head around to actually look and see what's going on, too. And I don't think there are actually that many games that really have a free look option like that. So I just want to take a look, because it is going to... okay, we're actually going to want to go this way, and I'll put a little marker there, to see what that might be. Just because of the way it's kind of like a bay now, I don't want to go out to the one tip and then have to work back and around it. Let's just focus on trying to keep advancing and progressing along the shore and see what else we may stumble upon. I also do have the first aid kits with me, so those will help. And I had quite a few comments coming in about advice for going after the bison. Basically, they recommend, and I don't know if I'd be a good enough shot for it, but to have them charge you, and then you can try getting... okay, and then that's another thing that kind of confused me, but you can try getting a double lung on them. Now, I don't know how that worked, because you'd imagine, thinking of the human body, you have a lung here and here, approximately. So there's not really like an overlap of the two that you can get a shot like that. And I don't really see how for, like, the bison, you'd be able to get that as well. I could see it easier getting the heart shot right in the middle. Oh, actually, this might... Yeah, that should be still from that Arctic Fox, so maybe I'll actually have to switch out my weapon again. Because we've already gotten the rabbit. And he is going this way along towards the shore, so you know what? I think I will switch out, just in case. Let's get that one. Actually, I probably should have equipped the other one. Let me just fix that, so that way we don't have an issue rise up there. Okay. Because I'd hate to have a polar bear kind of like almost perfect opportunity and then... Ah, shoot, gotta switch that out quickly. Oh. Oh, we actually have like a little village or something up here. That is... Actually, it's abandoned too. That is one thing that's kind of interesting, is to come across like man-made buildings on a lot of the reserves. No, we actually got droppings, so this will be pretty helpful. Yeah, it says it's been roaming for a while, so actually... Okay, that direction's a little odd. Yeah, that's more what I was figuring. Oh. Well, there's another mission done, so that's, I think, another 100 towards our total. Again, as long as you're, like, actively playing, and even just, like... I don't think the missions really get super... restricted to the requirements of them until quite a while into their thing, so... Oh. And a new trail. Oh, okay, we might actually have a chance at an Arctic Fox here. Looks like that's about there. Nope, just try to up it a little bit. Okay, maybe not enough. How about there? There we go. No, no, I want the binoculars. That's right, B for binoculars. Okay, you know what? I think I'll stand up because it's probably going to be a while before we might actually see it. Now, it looks... Judging from the, like, where the sound originated from, it's more up that way than... Oh! I got a sighting. Okay, it might be a bit far out, but I think I might try for it. Oh, geez, I'm going to have to... Looks like that actually got it. Yeah, that's the thing is... Even, like, going into the crouch stats, you still have a lot of weapon sway. It's best if you actually can get yourself lying flat, because that will reduce it incredibly so. It's just that I find the terrain often... More often than not, makes it very difficult to actually keep sight of what you're shooting at if you do go all the way down to prone. I do want to come around and check out this place a little bit more. But we'll head out, see about grabbing ourselves this little fox, and we've gotten 2 new animals already on this episode. And that's the thing, if you do hear a call and it looks like it's within range, just go slow and even keep glassing around quite a bit. A little bit of movement or just a bit of different coloring, and you may very well have yourself a animal right there you can get. Yeah, here it is up here. Might as well get these tracks just because they are a little bit more experienced towards the tracking skills. But yeah, Whiterime Ridge has been very, very productive for us. Like, even just from last couple of episodes. We've had a lot of animals that we've been able to get. And a lot of points we've been able to get as well, too. And there's a nice double lung. See, that one I can understand, because you're going from the side out the other. Oh, no, that's too powerful. That's what we want. Oh, actually... Looks like I might have gotten quite a few there, so I'll have to check. Do I want to hold this guy up as small game? I don't know. Let me see if I can actually... see, I can't get his head going the right way. I wonder if I can do anything fun with this now. Actually, maybe this might be a fun little pose to do. Well, aside from it actually clipping into... Okay, let's see about bringing you down a blaze. There's a selfie! Yeah, we'll take that one for sure. Ooh, that was, again, a nice amount of GM, too. So I think that was quite an interesting, bit towards our, like, missions. Because from what the procs were going off, it sounded like one of them was, like, a rifle mission, and that one might have been a little bit more than another. Or, like, maybe a bit more rewarding. I'll have to check after these couple of episodes, see how we're doing, but I think we are getting much, much closer to that jackrabbit collar. Oh, wow. It actually looks like a couple of ships were kind of, like, scuttled or sank out in the bay. Actually, coming up this town, this really gives me the Long Dark vibes. Because it is like a coastal industry town that reminds me a lot of Desolation Point's, whale processing thing. Now, I don't think we'll actually come across anybody in here. Or, well, any animal life. You're not going to come across people, that's for sure. But yeah, just all the, like, abandoned buildings and how it's fallen apart and derelict. Giving me really heavy Long Dark vibes. Thankfully, there aren't any wolves to actually hunt on this map, otherwise it would be exactly like... Actually, that is sort of like a hunting game I would love to see. Is combine elements of the survival mode like the Long Dark with, like, the hunting of the hunter in a way. So, like, each animal you hunt, you could actually skin and put its materials to use for, like, making heavier equipment, like going out into colder weather, or gives you better bonuses, like visibility reduction or stuff like that. Almost make it a true mix of hunting and survival in a way. I think you'd have to do pretty light on some of the mechanics from both sides to really make it as fun as it should be. But it's still something that I think would be cool to actually have, like, a survival hunting experience like that. Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting to just go walking around through, and I could see polar bears or something kind of, like, rummaging around here just trying to find stuff. I'd have to imagine that a lot of animals would try to make use of areas like this that are completely banned just because of all the shelter it could provide from, like, storms or the snow. Like, why would you spend the energy digging a den when you could basically just make yourself a little hole in one of the corners of the building here, and you have your shelter almost pre-made? Yes, I hear you little buggers, but I can't go after you, so quiet. Now, that's probably one of the worst things about them is... It sounds like it's hunting opportunities, but you don't have a way to call them in. I think that's one of the reasons why I never got into, like, the duck hunting and bird hunting aspects of both the Hunter and Call of the Wild, is because you needed a lot more resources to actually open that feature up. You need decoys that you can set out, you need calls that you can put, that you can actually bring things in with, you need, well, more bird shot and a weapon for it. Much more than if you were just going to say on, like, a deer hunt or anything. And I don't know how well it pays off for it, too. Another thing is, as you guys probably can tell, I'm not one who likes sitting in a spot very long. Like, I'm more of a, well, if you consider, like, Call of the Wild's two roots of it, stalker and ambusher, I'm definitely the stalker type. I'm the one who... I can't really set up a spot and just stick around there for a long time. I'm the one who wants to be a little more active in pursuing, going out and exploring. Speaking of, I think I might see something up there. Oh, I do. It is our first polar bear sighting. He's way out there, though. But we've got ourselves another animal we might be able to get this episode. And that is... I dare say that... No, not quite the huntable roster. There is one other animal that I have not hunted yet. That's the Dull Sheep. I did see the female, but I'd like to try to hunt for a male. But if we can get the polar bear and a Dull Sheep, that is every animal we can hunt available right now, I believe. Because I'm trying to remember what the full list of animals is. Bison, moose, Sitka deer, polar bear, snowshoe hare, the snow geese, the Arctic fox. And I think that's it. I might be mistaken, though. But yeah, it'd be very interesting if I can walk up here and we can actually track this bear down. I was expecting to see it maybe more out on, like, the ice floes there or something, but it looks like... Actually, I'm not even sure how they get onto some of the ice floes, because I don't think... Oh. Yeah, that's our bear for sure. Unless there are two over there, then we have multiple chances. But I do want to be careful, because polar bears are the largest land carnivore... or land predator. I think it's land predator. Basically, largest terrestrial carnivore on the planet. And they are not something you want to mess around with. Like, they can look kind of cute in that because of just, like, the pure white coat to them. But they can be a brutal animal. But then again, when you see where they live, too, it is easy to understand a little bit as to why that's the case. Okay, I guess I was just hearing something... Yeah, just some vehicle passing by. I hear the engine revving. I thought it was something actually in-game, like an animal growling. Okay, I do want to be careful because, again, this is a polar bear. I might have first aid kits, but I'd prefer to hold on to what I can. And we won't get things like warning calls like we do in Call of the Wild, where you can get an idea of when they're picking you up or not. I think the wind is... I mean, it's hard to tell for sure, because it could just be like a map effect. It seems like it's blowing out towards the water. So I don't think it'll pick us up by scent. But then again, I also see wind blowing up, like, up and basically going in completely opposite directions. So it is a case where maybe it will pick us up from that. Okay, well, that's just a rock. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to try getting closer. So this is right around where it called from. We should be finding the tracks in just a moment. Oh, there are the snow geese coming back for another pass. Yeah, there are the tracks right there. So I do just want to be slow and cautious. Try to keep our ears open. Also keep our eyes open. I don't know if you'd actually... I'm not sure if you would actually ever have polar bears in an area that actually has, like, a lot of trees like this. Because I know they're usually found very far north, like, so north that you don't have forest really for them. And that's why they're such, like, very, very dependent on the ice floes, because of the seals and that they hunt. I don't know if you would actually really have a forest area like this that they inhabit. Well, at least we're getting a lot of tracks. That'll help for leveling up our skill. Oh, although it's very close by. Very, very close. Actually, close enough to a point that I'm kind of concerned about where is it? It's still just roaming. And we are crouched going along, so I don't think we would spook it yet. that. Oh, jeez, we got an Arctic fox, too. Oh, man, why does this have to be lined up as it is? Okay, now I'm going to focus on the bear, just because, again, it's the animal we haven't gotten yet. I've at least got one fox. So I think... Oh, how do I want to do this? Okay, no, that must be an old track then. I think these are all old tracks, so this is the newest here. Yeah, these are definitely the newest. Oh, where are you? Seems like you're picking just the perfect spots to go. That you're hidden by the ridges. And you're staying within the trees. Now, I don't know if that fox would alert the bear or not. I'm not sure how well the animals, like, pick up from each other. But this is very, very close range and close quarters for a polar bear hunt. Like, oh boy, this is probably going to be... See, I just cannot seem to find a good area that he's getting out, or he or she is getting out into. Oh, no, fleeing. Okay, so... There will be some distance. I'm actually surprised it fled instead of, like, actually provoking and coming after us. I would have thought the polar bear would have been more aggressive. But this can be helpful in its own way. Because if it does go out to an area... Actually, that might be for... That could work very well. Yeah, if it keeps going this way, I might actually get a nice line of sight from this ridge up here that it just went by. I didn't think it would have fled, but maybe what happened was I did spook the fox, and that triggered the bear to run too. It's probably a far-flung theory out there, but... It seemed like for as long as I was able to keep pretty close to the bear, I don't know what would have spooked it unless, again, either the wind and it kind of blew in the direction for it. Oh yeah, this might be exactly what I could use. Yeah, so it's back down to just roaming. I just do not see it anywhere. It's like it keeps perfectly finding these... Oh, never mind, I do see it. Oh, she's going to give me the shot. Whew, there we go. Sometimes you have to go quick. Like, if I let her keep, or her or him, I'm not sure which it is, but if I let it keep going as it was, it probably would have gotten right behind that rock and then just turned and kept using that as cover again. Oh, geez, there's even more bear tracks around here, too, so we might actually have more next episode. Let's go up and take a look at our first polar bear. Now, because of the state of climate change and that, this is definitely not something that you should really have polar bear hunts, because they have way too many problems they're already facing, but virtually, it is a way to take in the experience of seeing an animal like this up close. Yeah, so how did that shot... I've got a problem with this diagram. Went through the lungs, but then also the very back intestines. How? But there is our first polar bear, and you can see in the top left, that is very much the case. We got the achievement for it. Yeah, we'll do humble again with this one. See if we can just kind of pull you a little bit over. There we go. Maybe close up the mouth. We have ourselves our first polar bear. That'll do. Yeah, let's go through the filters. I think I like chroma here. We'll do that. And not actually worth that much, only 11. So I guess she was a pretty small, it was a pretty small bear. I didn't even check to see if it was male or female. But with that done, we are going to end our first episode of this hunt right here. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this episode of the series. Tomorrow we will have the second half of this episode, and then we'll probably be looking at migrating to a different reserve. Because this actually brings us up, I think, to our entire... Except for the doll sheep, which we'll try next episode, but hard to say because of the location we're in now. We'll basically probably be moving on to another reserve, and it might actually be back to a very classic map, Whiteheart Island. It was the map I started with when the Hunter was years and years ago, before we had a lot of the other reserves. Like, I started even before we had Hirschfeld in, so that goes to show you just how long ago I was, kind of with the series. But yeah, I'm going to look very forward to that, but first we have the other half of this weekend to cover here on Whiterime Ridge. So thank you guys very much for joining me on another episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give us a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to let me know in the comments right down below. Any feedback or questions, I do try to respond to as soon as I can on the channel. But until I catch you all next video, survivors and hunters, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting!